Welcome back to Burden Bearing Coaching Corner. Today, as we share just a few minutes together, I'd like to continue our journey of moving from ordinary to extraordinary in our lives. Yesterday, I spoke about the first word and adding the extra, the word equip. Today, I want to speak a little bit about the second word, the word examine. Marquis de Lafayette once said, "I read, I study, I examine, I listen, I think. And out of all of that, I try to form an idea into which I put as much common sense as I can." Recently, I attended the funeral of a cousin of mine, and like most funerals, much of the service was focusing on examining the life of my cousin and her incredible impact on each of us that knew her and loved her. Sadly, for far too many people, they spend their whole lives leaving the examination solely in the hands of others. I do a training that I call Finding My Mission, in which I help people begin to go on their own process of formulating and writing their own personal mission statements for their lives, in which they have a direction and a focus to live by. And the first assignment that I give them in this process of writing their own personal mission statement is to actually write their own obituary, or story of their life, if you will. To get them to kind of jump ahead and then look back, examining their life in such a way that they would answer the question for themselves of, how do I want others to see me? How do I want my life to impact others when it comes time for my life to be over? What is it that I hope that they actually say about me? Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And mostly people live their lives by the phrase, if it's meant to be. I'm sorry, but for me personally, I don't do that. Yes, there are some things in my life that are far beyond my control, and there are some things that I believe God is certainly destined and ordained and directs my life to do. But I also believe that I have responsibility along the way. And although there are things that are out of my control that I can do absolutely nothing about, I do have control over my attitude, my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, and my behaviors. And these things will determine much of what will be for me. So today I choose to examine these things. And I choose to focus on the extraordinary. What will you focus on? What will you examine? Are you willing to examine? The journey from ordinary to extraordinary involves not only equipping myself, being teachable, learning, growing, but it's important that I examine those things along the way, good and bad. What I can't control, so that I learn from those things, and what I can control, so that I take responsibility for those things and change where I need to. May God bless you in your journey. Thank you for joining me once again on Burden Bearing Coaching, taking a few minutes of your time. Keep your stick on the ice.